guys, welcome back and welcome to my productive monthly reset routine. Today we are resetting for a new month and a whole new season. Creating the opportunity to reset every month forces me to regularly check in with myself and question if I spent the last 4 weeks doing things that make me feel good and are in alignment with who I want to be. So, before we get into reflections and goal setting, I like to get in the best possible headspace. For me, that means a productive morning routine. This morning, I started my day with my obligatory cup of tea, brushed my teeth, made the bed, and got ready for some movement. Getting outdoors first thing for exercise isn't something I'm typically good at, but wow, did it feel so good. Being able to enjoy nature and have the first glimpse of sunshine whilst the rest of the world is still waking up felt so special. And then it's home for a full shower, hair wash, exfoliation, skincare, the works. For a day focused all on living like our future selves, it meant using all of my favourite products this morning. So the Way hair wash and conditioner, my favourite cowshed exfoliator, vitamin C serum, my ride or die Caudalie moisturiser. I love the Bumble and Bumble hair heat protector, and of course, obligatory SPF. I'm also really loving doing a bit of facial massage in the morning. I really need to get myself the proper tools, but in the meantime, my hands work perfectly fine to get the blood flowing. I am so in love with the Dyson Airwrap. I'm absolutely loving getting out on hair wash days. Hello guys, honestly I'm having such a good start to my day. I thought in order to feel my very best as I prepare and goal set for March, I needed to start my day with a productive morning routine. We know how good they make us feel. We can't do them every day, but today I was determined to tick off all the things that make me feel good. I even went on a run, which is so not me whatsoever. I'll talk a little bit more about my fitness goals when we actually sit down, but I've now been on 2 runs. Does that make me a runner? Probably not, but it's very exciting for me because honestly, I don't think I've ever run in my life, ever. Anyway, I'm absolutely starving because I didn't eat before I went, and I've now been on a run, come back, got dressed, done my hair, I'm feeling great, but I'm so hungry. So I actually got a load of groceries delivered. To be honest, this is a bit of a traditional weekly top up, but I thought I'd just make it a little extra healthy so that I feel as I head into March that I really am living my best life and I'm fueling my body with all of the goodness. So I'll just show you what I got before I start cooking because honestly I'm just desperate for breakfast. But I got some broccoli. Oh, I've got 2 packets of broccoli. I only thought you ordered 1, but there we go, 2 packets of broccoli. I got myself 2 massive sweet potatoes because I want to make some jacket potato but with sweet potatoes at some point this week. I also got some more eggs. The Clarence Court eggs are honestly the very, very best of the best. I honestly don't need any other eggs now. I got myself some smoked salmon. Honestly, this was a treat for me going on a run because it might not seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but I swear it's a very big deal to me. They went on a run. So I wanted to treat myself. So this morning I'm gonna have eggs and salmon. I got myself some more soy milk because I have that in my tea and on my cereal. I don't drink normal milk. Got myself some bananas. I only got 2 this time because I can't be making banana bread every week when I over order. I also got myself some soft brown sliced thins. They're kind of like little panini thins, I guess, and to be honest, this one was more of a disappointing purchase because I'm supposed to be making my sourdough every week, but it didn't end up happening this week. It's been a crazy week at work and I was desperate to have some bread to go with my eggs and salmon after my run. So I got some of these, and to be honest, I think what I'll do is I'll use some and then I'll stick the rest in the freezer so I've always got some bread kind of on backup, and then we're gonna go back to making our sourdough as often as we can. And then I also got some chickpeas. So I just got some Mr. Organic, a pack of 4, because to be honest, I'm so sick of always running out and then not having any. I just love being able to have either chickpeas or like bean pulse type thing. I love having them so I can like chuck them into salads or into any of my dinners to just help bulk them out a bit more, give me a bit of extra protein, because although I definitely am eating eggs and salmon at the moment, sometimes I do go plant-based and then I go back and so I've got some more of those. And then the last thing I got was some medjool dates, because I saw a reel or a TikTok, can't remember, of peanut butter stuffed dates that are then dipped in dark chocolate. And I actually used to make a version of that at uni, but I saw this reel and I was so re-inspired because it's such a delicious snack that's not just eating a load of chocolate. So I'm gonna make those later and stuff each of those with peanut butter, dip them in dark chocolate, and then stick them in the fridge. So I'm very excited for those as well. And that is literally it. So not a lot, but just quite a nice little fresh, healthy haul. I've also got my little ginger shot, which I'm gonna sip and enjoy whilst I have my breakfast. I honestly love these so much. I have to like drink it quite slowly because I could honestly, I swear, drink the whole bottle of ginger. Love, love, love. Anyway, I am so unbelievably hungry. I'm now gonna make myself some breakfast, and then we're gonna sit down and talk all about how we feel January and February went and what we're looking forward to in March and what some of our goals are gonna be for March. And yeah, we're already killing it. I know we're gonna absolutely smash this month, and I'm so glad to have you with me. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, let's start to reflect on the last couple of months and plan ahead for March. Totally not like me, but I've actually got my planning on my laptop this time instead of in my trusty notebooks. So if you haven't seen any of my reset videos before, I like to split my reset into 3 key stages as part of a bit of a method, I suppose. And the 3 key steps are pause, reflect, and plan. So pause is where I like to spend some time, however long I can get, before I start reflecting and goal setting, getting back to myself and honestly really just indulging in a bit of self-care, really just so that I go into the reflecting and goal setting process with the best headspace I possibly can and feeling like the best version of myself. I've done it in the past where I've gone into the goal setting process not feeling my best, a little bit negative, a little bit down or a bit sluggish, and it just means that the goals I set aren't as ambitious. It means I don't feel as proud of myself of the things that I've already achieved, and it's just not the best way to reset for a new month. So at the beginning of the year, I actually managed an entire day to pause and reflect on the previous year. For this particular monthly reset, all I had time for was a morning. So this morning I prioritized doing my full productive morning routine. I got up early, I went for a run, I had a full shower, I washed my hair, I put on some makeup, even if only a little bit, and I just spent a couple of hours putting myself first and feeling like the very best version of myself before the rest of my productive day goal setting. And I absolutely loved it. It was the best morning. It's the first time I've ever gone for a run first thing in the morning, which is wild. So it put me in such a good mood to get into my goal setting and reflections for today. So once you've done your pause, you then move on to reflect. January and February are easily, for me, the hardest 2 months of the year. I know they are for so many people, especially if you do live somewhere like I do, where in January and February, you really are in the depths of winter. It's very cold, it's grey, it rains a lot, it's quite gloomy, it's dark for a huge portion of the time. You don't have a lot of daylight hours. So it's a pretty tough time. I will say for me though, this January and February have been better than most. Last January and February were pretty tough for me. And I think one of the biggest differences I found this year about it being better for me was just acknowledging that those months are harder. And for me, it just takes a lot of the pressure off, just thinking, actually, you know what, January and February, I eat more unhealthy foods that don't make me feel great. I move my body way less, which also doesn't make me feel great. And I think just acknowledging that January and February are quite tough months, if they are for you, I think goes a really long way to actually alleviating those feelings. All that to say, the last couple of months have been tough, but in general, we've done okay. In terms of reflecting on my goals, now I haven't set monthly goals for the last 2 months. This is my first monthly reset of the year, but I did set my yearly goals. So I'm going to do a bit of a reflect on how I'm progressing against my yearly goals. So I like to split up my goals into financial, career, and personal. So I haven't made much progress towards my savings goals, but that's because what I've decided to do this year is actually plan and book all of my big expenses for the year up front. So I really want to travel this year a little bit more. It's one of my personal goals for the entire year. What I've actually done is booked and paid for all of my trips. When I say all of my trips, I mean the accommodation, the travel for this year. So I've got a couple of overseas trips and I've got a couple of trips just locally in the UK, a couple of weekends away. And I've planned those out throughout the year, so I feel like I've got a decent break from work at nice increments throughout the year, and I've also paid for all of them as well. So right now, I am pretty broke. I haven't been able to save any money, but that's fine because my plan is that now I can enjoy the rest of the year, knowing everything's scheduled, knowing that all of my big expenses are out the way, and for the rest of the year, I can just have fun and save money without the pressure of knowing that new big expenses are gonna come my way. Whilst I haven't been able to save, I have been working really hard on improving my understanding of my current finances. I know there are a lot of statistics on the male-female divide in financial literacy, but I really feel like I have fallen into the category of women who just don't understand enough about finances. I don't understand enough about my own. And to be honest, that's an entire other topic of conversation about why I feel that boys and men just grow up more focused on finances and being taught more about how to manage their finances and how to improve their wealth. And yeah, it's just not something I've ever really known about or learnt about. So I'm trying to put the work in to upskill myself. We have YouTube, we have Google, there is so much out there for us to teach ourselves. So I've been trying to learn a little bit more. And one of the things that I've done, which I'm loving, is downloaded this app called Snoop. This is the little like icon logo thing for it. It's just this little orange guy with 2 eyes, look like he's snooping in your finances. And you basically link up your bank account and your savings account. You link up all the bank accounts you've got, and it gives you a view of your total net worth, how much you've got in your current accounts, how much you've got in your savings. And then it basically splits all of your finances into all of the categories of which you spend. So if you click into it, it'll say like how much you've spent this month on groceries, how much you've spent this month on entertainment, how much you've spent on travel, hotels, etc. And it gives you also a graph that shows you how you're spending this month is different to how your spending was last month. So you can get a view of, oh gosh, I'm like starting to exceed on last month. I want to keep it roughly the same. I also find it really helpful that it's got a view of this week's bills coming up. So you can see on here, I've got Netflix. I actually pay Barley's vet bills. I've got my mortgage payment because it's going to be the first of the month. I've got my electricity bills, and it basically shows me all the things that are coming up this week. It's the first of the month, right? So I've got loads of things on here. I've got my internet bills, I've got my Epidemic Sound subscription that I use for YouTube, all of the bills I've got coming up this week for the first of the month. And I can see what that totals to, so I know how much I need to have in my bank account ready for all of that to be taken out on the 1st of March, which for me is literally tomorrow. And I love it. I just think it's such a good little app. If you guys have any other methods for how you track your spending or have a look at the different categories, then let me know. I know a lot of people use a spreadsheet. I'm not very Excel savvy, to be honest, so to me it's just easier having an app and it pulls all the information into there. But let me know if you've got any other ones, because I'm very interested in just trying a few different things. The app's completely free. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving that. So I'm feeling pleased in terms of reflecting on my finance goals for the last couple of months. I might not have literally progressed my savings target, but I am feeling like I'm upskilling myself financially and I'm setting the foundations to have quite a strong financial year. And I think that's fine. Actually, I think it's better than fine. I think the first few months of the year, we shouldn't put too much pressure on ourselves to be achieving stuff. I think it's setting the foundation so that we can achieve later in the year. Okay, so my career goals, because of the state of the world at the moment and the economy struggling, it means that businesses are spending less money, which means they need less consultants, which means that my company has put on a bit of a hiring freeze at the moment and they're allocating far less money towards bonuses and salary increases and promotions. So I think me getting a promotion this year is going to be more of an uphill struggle than I thought. It doesn't mean I'm giving up. Things are hard for everyone right now. Money is tighter, companies are feeling it as well, so the likelihood of them giving me a pay rise in the first half of this year especially is feeling slimmer than when I set that goal at the beginning of the year, but we're still working towards it. And then YouTube, I still don't know whether that sits in a career or personal. It kind of straddles the two, but I am pleased with how I'm going with YouTube. I've stayed consistent. I've uploaded every week. In some cases, I've uploaded twice a week. So that's going really well. And then my personal goals, as I said, I've booked all my travel, which is amazing. Tick, tick, tick. And then fitness, which is the biggest one for me because I'm so determined to get into a bit of a groove and find my own way of managing my discipline around exercise, movement and working out. And in terms of going to the gym lots of times a week, I'm not really there yet, but I have been going at least once a week. And then literally over the last 7 days, I have been reflecting a lot on how I would love to be able to run 5K. It's not that far, but to me, that is like a marathon. It's so beyond my current capabilities of my fitness levels. So I want to be able to run 5K easily, to be able to just head out the house, do a quick 5K. It takes, I don't know how long a 5K would take if you were fit, but it takes half an hour, under half an hour. It's such an easy way to take care of my cardiovascular health, my respiratory health, and it's going really well so far. So to be honest, I'm just so proud of myself. I honestly don't think I've run since, I don't know, school. I hate running. It's not, I would never normally do it voluntarily, but for some reason it's just clicked in my head as a goal of that would be something that's really nice to do. I've also got quite a few friends that like running. My boyfriend really likes to run, and I'd like to be able to join them at some point. That is not necessarily a goal for March, but we'll get on to what my actual goals are right now. So I will rattle through these relatively quickly, but financial, I basically just want to stay mindful of my purchases, keep using that little Snoop app that I'm loving, and keep track of my expenses. I'd like to save £1,000 if I can, but that might be a bit too high of a target considering how much I've drained everything booking my travel. But if I can save £1,000 in March, that would be pretty damn impressive. So let's see if we can do it. Career goals, from a day-to-day work perspective, I'm just gonna have to keep doing my best. I'm not gonna make any big pushes towards my promotion this month. Just keep working hard, keep showing up every day, keep doing my best, and that's all I can do. From a YouTube perspective, keep posting every single week, sometimes post twice a week, which I'm starting to get into the rhythm a little bit of twice a week. It does depend on my social life being a bit quieter in order to do twice a week, but I'm managing it every now and again and I'm loving that, so keeping that up. And then my personal goals. So I want to bake a loaf of sourdough at least twice this month. I didn't mention that in my reflection, but I have started my sourdough journey, which is brilliant because that's been a goal for like the last, I don't know, 18 months, 2 years. I've been talking about baking sourdough and still haven't done it, but I've now made a couple of loaves. They're still quite dense. I'm still not getting that really fluffy, bubbly loaf, but they're getting better. The first one was like so dense and mostly a disaster, but we're getting better. So that's good. I want to keep that up. And thank you so much for those of you that have commented and encouraged me to keep going and told me that they get better each time. Because honestly, I needed that. After my first one, I was like, oh, maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe baking bread is not one for Ellen. But you guys have told me to keep going with it, and I'm so glad you did because they are slowly getting better. But at least 2, maybe 3, which would mean only skipping 1 week. That would be brilliant for the month of March. I want to run 3 times a week to keep up with this program that I'm following to help me run 5K. That might be completely unachievable, to be honest. Right now, I go to the gym once a week. The concept of all of a sudden starting to run 3 times a week sounds like way too much of an increase on my fitness goals, but I'm gonna really try. I'm so serious. It's something fun. It's something completely different for me, and I want to give it a go. So we'll see how we are when we check in April, but if I can run 3 times a week, I'll be beyond proud. That'll be like biggest life achievement for Ellen ever. So we're gonna try. And then my third personal goal for this month is to continue to try new recipes and keep up with my cooking. I also would quite like to start filming some of the recipes that I cook, maybe as part of like short form content, so maybe reels on Instagram. I mean, I really don't use Instagram at all, but I want to start getting better at posting on Instagram, or maybe some YouTube shorts, but starting to post some of my recipes because yeah, I absolutely love to cook and it's such an easy thing for me to capture. And I've got a decent handful of my favorite really healthy snacks that I love. They taste so good, you wouldn't even know they're healthy, but I've fallen out of the habit of actually making them. And if I start making them more and maybe even film them with you guys. You might like them as well, and it'll mean I consume them more, which will be brilliant. But yes, those are all of my goals for March. I think it's going to be a really good month. Honestly, I think it's going to be a really good month for all of us. We're going to start to see it warm up. The sun is going to be coming out more. It's going to be getting brighter. Our days are going to be longer. And if we can start ticking off some of our goals as well, I know we're going to be feeling so good and so positive as we head into the warmer, sunnier spring weather. The very last thing that I like to do when I do my monthly reset is then plan my month and start to map out all the things that I've got coming up, whether that's really fun activities or which YouTube videos I might want to film. So for that, I'm going to head over to my desk, my desk/kitchen table, and I'm going to get out my diary, I'm going to get out my laptop, look at my calendar, and we're going to map out all of the key things that are happening over the course of the next 4 weeks. A month is so short, and make sure I'm feeling excited about at least one thing that's happening each week, and if not, plan something in for me to look forward to. And any of the goals that I can actually slot into my diary for the next 4 weeks, then I am going to do that. So let's go do that now. Okay, so I actually like to plan out my months just using the calendar app on my laptop, because then it's automatically synced with my phone and I can check my calendar on my phone and my laptop as much as I need. So March, let's have a look. The first weekend of March, I'm seeing my sister. We've actually got a night away at a lovely hotel in the city, which she got me for Christmas. So that's going to be so lovely. I've also got quite a few trips to the theatre mapped out in here. I'm such a sucker for a musical, and I'm actually going to the theatre 3 times in a month, which is pretty incredible. So I've got a few trips to the theatre. Mother's Day coming up later this month, so I'm going to spend some time with family, which will be so lovely. I'm also going away with my mum and my sister for Mother's Day for the very last week of the month, which will be really nice. We're staying a night away near where my sister lives. So I've got 2 nights away in a month. That's so nice. I've also got a few appointments coming up this month. I've got a laser hair removal appointment coming up in the next week, and I've also got a dentist appointment. So let me start scheduling in what are the videos that I want to get filmed this month, and when am I going to prioritize getting my sourdoughs baked. So I'm going to do that now, get those planned in, and then I should be feeling pretty set for the month of March. Guys, that is it. That is everything that I'm going to do in order to prepare for March. For me, March is literally tomorrow. So I'm going to try and get this video edited and uploaded for you guys so that you can also start to plan out your March as soon as it begins. I am so excited for this month. I really think that March is one of the most hopeful months of the year. Spring is coming, the weather is getting better, and I'm so excited for the whole world to come alive a little bit more over the next 4 weeks. I've had the best morning reflecting and planning with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. Have the very best week, guys, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.